Sonic Frontiers 2. Yeah, I know we're already talking about it. Frontiers hasn't even been out for 3 months yet. But thanks to the director, Kishimoto, I swear this is like the third video I'm making on Kishimoto, or that's related to Kishimoto. But as you guys know, with the whole feedback stuff, he has given feedback regarding Sonic Frontiers 2 and things that he wants to implement into Sonic Frontiers 2 going forward. If some of these things actually get implemented, Sonic Frontiers 2 without a doubt will be a better game, at least gameplay core wise. I'm not sure obviously island wise or even open world wise, but definitely gameplay wise, if these things get implemented, it'll be more in line with a Sonic game that I think people are kind of looking for. Not to say Sonic Frontiers wasn't what people were looking for, because I'd say for the most part it kinda is for a lot of people, just not down to the nitty-gritty details of Sonic, but more so the idea. But again, thanks to Kishimoto, instead of relying on leaks and whatnot, we kinda can just look at his list of things he replied to on Twitter and kinda just point out, oh okay, that might make it in Frontiers 2 because he said it will. And yes, I still stand by my video, leave Kishimoto alone, it's enough. Watch that video by the way, because YouTube was glitching the day I uploaded that and decided to kill that video, so make sure you guys check that out in the little card in the top right. But before we hop into all these new details, I got something pretty important to say. Hey, hold up a minute. 75% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so why don't you consider subscribing if you've been enjoying the content? You may be like, hey, this might be too early in the video, but 43,000 of you guys keep coming back to these videos, so I'm talking to you. Why don't you hit the subscribe button? Thanks guys. So what's one thing that was actually missing from Sonic Frontiers that's been in pretty much almost every single Sonic game beforehand? Yeah, that's right, you guessed it, loops. There's not a single loop in the open zone except one area. In Ares Island, there's those floating circle cylinder thingies that you can actually run on, and those are like the only loops that are really in the game like that. And I mean more like natural loops. I don't mean like those things that Sonic sticks to and can run on like the walls and whatnot. There is one of those in Oranos Island, but it's not exactly the same as a natural loop. But I wanted to point this one out because Kishimoto responded to it, where this person named Nothing says, sorry to bother you, but can you go up some loops without dash panels or automation? I think incorporating more freedom, momentum, and physics into traversal and the level design can expand the range of playing. A lot of fans want momentum-based platforming. Kishimoto says thank you for your feedback. Also, thank you for translating into Japanese. I understand your opinion. We believe that this is an important issue that needs to be addressed in order to move freely in open zones. Thank you very much. This is basically him saying, yeah, we've kind of heard the momentum stuff before, and this is something we're going to be implementing into Sonic Frontiers 2 based off of feedback. Or, you know, that's something they want to do at least. So a lot of people have been giving feedback based off of momentum type gameplay, and Kishimoto has definitely been responding to a lot of it and just kind of saying, yeah, we're looking into it and I want to make it happen. I'll tell you why momentum based gameplay is a big W for Sonic Frontiers 2. First off, I'll start saying that it's not a bad thing that Frontiers isn't super momentum based, because the game isn't really designed around momentum, so it's okay. It's not terrible because of it. But with all this feedback that they've been getting about momentum-based gameplay, they're gonna have to design the world around that momentum. For example, in Sonic Frontiers, when you go up a dash panel or like you go up a rail that leads into just a flat platform, Sonic just stops after he lands on top of that platform or reaches that platform, because there's no momentum to make you fly over it. So when they make momentum-based gameplay in the next open zone, they're going to have to actually design the world around Sonic having that momentum and having that, you know, not ability to just stop on a dime, unless they actually just implement the ability for you to stop on a dime. But Sonic is going to be carrying his momentum with him in the next game, so when he runs, he's going to carry that momentum with him likely, and they're going to have to design the world around that. But that is the part that is a W, the world being designed around momentum, because when you design a world around momentum, you get a game like Sonic Adventure 1, where you can actually reach shortcuts which you think are not intended, but then you'll find like a ring capsule up there or a life or something. You're like, oh, the developers knew I could make it up here, but it felt like I wasn't supposed to. And that's the kind of stuff they're going to be able to do with Sonic Frontiers 2. They really take the time to design the game around the momentum and make it, you know, fun. But I'm going to say this. They need to add spin dashing truly back into the next game, because I feel like what made playing around with momentum in Sonic games was the spin dash. Sonic Adventure 2 spin dash jumping was just as fun as Sonic Adventure 1, and you're able to make crazy jumps in both games with spin dash jumping. In Frontiers, there's not really anything crazy. We have slopes and weird mechanics that launch you into the air, but it needs to be more natural. We need more momentum jumpers, I'll call them. Things that allow you to fly and give you instant access to using the game's physics to fly across the world rather than feeling random. Sonic Frontiers, you'll just boost across a tiny rock and go flying. I can't believe I'm doing this, but next up, we have more momentum confirmation and combat ideas from the meme of many other Sonic tubers communities, the Spidey underscore. This man Spidey dropped a mega thread of changes and ideas for Sonic Frontiers 2, and man, it's a lot. And I don't even want to go through all of it right now. But Kishimoto gave him a standard response that I've seen from many other people where he says, "Thank you very much for feedback. Your feedback has given me inspiration for my next work, blah, blah, blah." He said that before. But Spidey asked another question. He said, "What was your favorite idea of mine?" And then Kishimoto actually gave him the time of day and said, "The one that inspired me the most was the combat proposal. I agree with your suggestion to influence the movement vector of Sonic's attack on the enemy. Thank you very much." Basically, what Spidey was saying was, being able to send the enemies in different directions a lot more. And then he asked another question about momentum, if it'll be a core focus. And then Morio Kishimoto said, "Yes, I learned that many people have high expectations for Sonic's momentum. After that, I think that is one of the tasks of the next work is to meet those expectations and provide surprises that exceed expectations." So again, it's just more confirmation of momentum, being a project in the next Sonic game or just a core focus. Spidey didn't get the answer from him as we've already gotten it before, but it's just more confirmation. A decent amount of people ask about momentum and he just confirms it more and more each time. Then we have a very interesting one by someone named Artorias, I believe that's how you pronounce it. They obviously translated to Japanese, but to sum it up, what they were saying is the traversal in Sonic Frontiers feels a little bare with floating rails and stuff not being seamless into the environment. And Kishimoto also responded saying, "Thank you for the feedback, and we recognize your point, and we would like to offer it in a sophisticated form in the next work, but we will also consider traversal. Thank you very much." Basically saying they'll consider trying to find ways to make it more seamless into the environment and not make it feel kind of awkward. I believe that's a good term. Now, this was a really interesting thing. This doesn't necessarily have to do with Sonic Frontiers 2 directly, but someone asked, in my opinion, a really stupid question about adding in a cutscene about Sonic and Amy regretting their past. And then just one person just says stop to that opinion. And then Kishimoto comes in and he says to the person saying stop, "We apologize for the inconvenience. The vision for the third generation Sonic games is clear. To that end, we will comprehensively consider everyone's opinions and make judgments and inspirations. I don't think you can make an interesting game with a majority vote. If that makes the game fun, there's no need for a director." Then he says, "Let me supplement it. The game you're playing now is created based on the opinions of about 200 playtesters. That said, it is almost impossible to use that opinion as is. That's because it's my job to determine what everyone's expectations are based on their opinions and then exceed those expectations. Therefore, I'd appreciate if you could give me various opinions here as they are valuable to me. By sublimating all of those opinions, I can ascertain what everyone is expecting, and what I should do as the director for the next game is to provide everyone with surprises that exceeds their expectations. I think that's it." Basically, Kishimoto saying that this guy saying just straight up stop to this person's suggestion is dumb. Or basically Kishimoto saying, "Hold up, let him cook, let the man cook," even if it is stupid. But I still hold the opinion that people should stop, blasting Kishimoto over and over with the same suggestions or stupid questions. Even if he is the nice guy and responds to him, I still think it's more respectful to not just spam him, if I'm being quite honest. Just because someone's being nice doesn't mean they, are okay to spam. Because in my opinion, that's called taking advantage of kindness. And I don't think we should take advantage of his kindness to suggest stuff for Sonic Frontiers 2. But there has been a lot of good suggestions that he's responded to, and I'm sure there's been a lot of really dumb ones that he's responded to. But overall, I guess the main thing that's confirmed for Frontiers 2 is momentum, and just improvements upon making the world better and just, a more seamless world. I think that will be a really good improvement for Sonic Frontiers 2. That'll probably make it way better than the first game, if I'm being honest. My personal suggestion, for stuff that hasn't already been asked for that much, I guess, is I want to see some city worlds, some city open zones. I'm trying to go through like New Dunk City type stuff. Let me go through Spagonia, but like in an open zone, that's what I want. Hopefully we can get something like that in the next Sonic game. But yeah, I guess the main thing again is momentum confirmed for Sonic Frontiers 2. And I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty hyped, and I'm sure we'll hear more about this as he continues to respond to feedback. There might be more videos to make on this kind of stuff. And I was basically just reading tweets, but that's kind of what it is. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And like always, I'll see you in the next one.
Well, whatever happens.